Hi, just getting in position on Tom Hignite, and this is guerrilla camera shooting. You've seen a few of these before maybe, but if you haven't, this is when we take the camera and we take all the time we want to show you a particular home. The home behind me is a very problematic home. Problematic in as much as when we build one, we tend to sell it. We don't get them very long. We can't keep them very long because they sell so quick. Sounds like a salesman line, and it kind of is, but it really is the truth. They do sell fairly quick. So let's let you see what this home looks like from the inside, but first let's look at the outside. This is done in many different styles. Walk with me this way a little bit. We're just going to kind of go sideways to the house, so just keep staying where you are at. Just keep walking down the road, camera person. And we have open house going on right now in this house, and this is sort of a rustic exterior view. We're using some very dark colors, the dark brown, the darker green for the siding color. This is a vinyl with a lot of real trim accents, which is sort of a low maintenance wood product that's been impregnated with a certain type of coating. So if you, let's want to get the other side of the house. Let's just keep going so you can get a real good view. This is a wooded lot. Now, one of the things I love to do with wooded lots is to try to save as many trees as possible. I don't hug them necessarily. I just love trees for the look that they give to the home. So the home itself is built into trees as opposed to the house right next door, which you don't have to look at right now. It's not one of ours, by the way, but the trees are just clear cut and then they build a house. So these couple of trees we've left open in front, I think add a lot of ambiance to the house, really make it more of a house in the woods instead of a house with the woods behind it. So step forward, let's take a closer look this way. You can see what we've done with our corners of our home is we've put this together with wood panel corners. And let me stay there for a moment. Let me just walk over by it here. This house is normally an L-shaped ranch, a very conventional type of a ranch where you have the main body of the house is a rectangle. Sometimes they have something hanging off it here and there, but just a rectangle. And then we have another rectangle hanging off the front of the house, which is the garage. Now, house here, garage here, we're filling in this area with what we are calling a two-season room. Very unconventional. So let's walk over by the house. Let's go down. We'll give one more view. Now you're a little bit closer. One more view of the home. See how we've mixed a lot of this cultured stone in with the middle of the house and at the end of the house, which we just passed. This is a split bedroom conventional ranch in its normal form. It's normally about a 1,600, 1,500 square foot home. It started off its life as our 1,500, which was kind of a unique animal in and of itself, but we'll get to that in a moment. I want to show you what we have here. This is our first full day of snow with the model open. This is November. We're dating and timing ourselves here, but it's middle of November 2014. And you can see how we have our sidewalk completely covered with snow because we haven't thought enough to bring our snow shovels just yet. But one of the things we did with this tree is we created the sidewalk going around the tree. And you are going to have a hard time seeing that because it's all blending into the snow. But it does. It comes this way and it makes a circle. And if the snow wasn't on it, you'd see that there's a big circle of stone and then bark chips around that. So step on in, step on over. This is a false door. I mean, it's a real door, but it's not really a door into the house itself. Here, step on through. I'll hold this open a little bit while you get over by it. And then let me get some distance. Just stay right by the door there. I'll get my distance here. Okay, I'm in a two-season room. This is the garage over here. This is a house. Remember I talked about the L-shaped house, garage. This is filled in. You're standing right in the front screen door, glass door. There's no roof on this area. If you can peek up just a little bit and see what that's about. It's snowing inside. You can build a snowman here in the middle of winter. It doesn't get as much snow in here as you might think. We've built these before, gone through a complete winter. Snow might come up to about here. This is a concrete floor. There's no basement under here. So all the floor is sloping to a drain that's right under this table here, if you can see that. you see the drain right over here. And that just drains out. So when this melts, the snow that is, when the snow melts, it just goes down the drain. It's really a wonderful area for being a two-season room. You can take a snap-over screen, a roll-up type screen that you'd find on a boat, and you'd keep the bugs out. But you could do a cookout out here, and it just really has some great airiness to it because of the open ceiling. Now this, a little bit of a unique feature, you can maybe see it. I hope you can pick that up on the video. But this is about a 55-inch television. Now this television probably shouldn't be out anymore. It's in the garage. This is actually just a window. The TV's on the other side of this window. Conventional window. We just bought it, sized it to the size of a 55-inch TV, and pushed the TV in from the back. When it gets real cold out, this isn't a heated garage, we take out the TV and put it inside the house. So we have speakers out here. We don't have them turned on right now. And we have a little garden down here, which is mostly leaves right now. But this garden area gets sunlight, so we can plant flowers and things out here. We're going to be doing a new version of this home. We're in Hartford right now. We're doing another one in Hartford that's going to have windows all the way around it. It's going to be enclosed on the top, but have a skylight and have a 12-foot high ceiling here. So we're still going to have planters and things inside here. Still no basement underneath. So we'll have planters around the edges and under here. It's going to be glorious. So if, make sure you ask about that one. Coming up, it's in permitting right now. Very unique that we've kind of mixed the colors. You see how we've done the green, we've done the brown, we've done the green panels again. I pointed out the panels on the corners of the home. This is the real front door to the house. If you were going to buy this as an R1500, which stands for Ranch, 1,500 square feet. That's what it started out as, its life. This would be the front door. There'd be a small porch here. There wouldn't be this big overhang here. And as long as I'm talking about overhangs, take a look up and see what we've done here. We have a little bit of a beamed idea here. We put some beams through here. And we've run aluminum soffit material. These are vented soffit material. And if it rained out here, we'd be able to sit out here in the rain, but we wouldn't be touched by the rain because of the way we've covered this. Even though we have an open ceiling, we have enough space around three sides to put chairs and lounge chairs, still watch TV if it was raining outside. Here's a fun thing. You might have seen this in another video, but once again, if you haven't seen our other videos, this is a touch button pad. You don't need your keys to get in. There, I just pressed the wrong code, and you can see that it went red, so I can't open it up. But if I were to press, let's see, now, if I press the right code, it turns green. There we go. Now it's the right code, and it is green, and we can come in. I'm going to kind of step out of the way. We do have people in the house right now, and it's okay. We're good with working this through, but we'll just try to keep them off camera so they don't feel funny about it. I'm going to kick off my shoes and come on in. All right. All right, just stand right there. You're in the foyer, and I'm in a unique area of this home. This is a dinette, but we also have a dining room over here. So the dinette and dining room combination is very different for a home of this size. We also build this as a den option. We have stairs that are right over here. If you can peek down, you'll see the stairs right from the foyer. When we do this as a den option, we put the stairs elsewhere. And we'll go to the finished basement. In this case, why don't we do that first? It's a little bit different idea, isn't it? We have some people up here, so let's go down. Follow me. All right. I'm going to turn on the television. This is a finished basement that is, for the time being, we're running some promotions, and every now and then we run promotions on the home. And you can see how we have a television set up over here, and we have a wet bar over here where you are right now. But when you first come down the basement stairs, you'll see that we have this big long wet bar which seats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people here. This is what we call a double bar, double theater effect. we have the one theater over here. So the double bar, if I had 6 more chairs, it fits 5 actually better on this side. I would then be able to sit right here. And as I'm seated here, I could watch that TV over here. But let me show you, if you step around this way and look at me from this side. So you're now going to be on the theater side, the official theater side, looking at me. And if I'm watching TV here, I have my back to the people that are at the other bar over here. But here's the concept. The concept is that, step in a little closer here. The concept in the double theater is that if I hang another TV up here, it's a dark piece of decoration up against a dark wall. You probably can't see that very well. But we have a very large wall, about 4 feet by about 8 feet of an inset here, where you can hang a very large television here. So now, if I'm seated wanting to talk to someone, not having my back to each other, stay right where you're at. And let me come right into frame again. Let's say that I'm here, and I'm talking in this direction, and this person's over here, and he's talking to me there. Now I'm watching that TV, and he's watching that TV. So we're watching over each other's shoulders if we have the ball game on. Another good reason for 2 theater areas, double theater, is that, say you're having a party, and the kids don't want to watch what you have on. They want to play video games, or maybe the adults do. So somebody could be playing video games, maybe with a wireless headset, maybe without, and someone else could be watching the baseball or the football game on the other screen. So you might have the adults and the kids kind of doing 2 different things. Kind of a nice idea. Of course, you can have a very good Packer party with both the screens going. So this is an option. When you normally get this basement with its standard version, we're a custom builder, so we don't do a lot of standard anything. We do whatever the client wants. But if there is a standard thing, this house comes without this big football-shaped sort of counter here. And it just gives a little bit more light on the subject here. There we go. And these posts are the iron posts in the house. So the steel posts that hold up the beam, the main beams. We have done a very unique job here decorating the home using these posts as a theme. And when I say that, if you take a look over at the theater area, follow me over, you'll see that we have that same width of that beam that was over there, painted over here, just done in paint. And over here, if we follow over here, we have the very same thing over here. And if you looked around the whole room, you'd see that we've used that post thickness, I'll show you that in a moment too on the bar, to really try to bring that entire post idea through the house. If you take a look at the ceiling here, step back a couple of steps just there. Take a look at the ceiling here. We've backlit this with track lights. When you come down, you're not seeing the track lights. You're seeing the side you don't see normally. But we've taken that width of this post and we've run it up into here. It looks like you're just going underneath a post archway, a decorative sort of an idea. But it's really sort of an illusion. Step on in a little closer. It's a little dark, I know, but you'll be able to see that we have this. This is actually a big drop. We've got our heating runs going through the house this way. And this disguises it with putting the dark color in the middle, the light color on the sides. So step on through. We'll give you a little bit of a dizzy spell here, getting you to step in a circle. But if you step on through, you'll see from the other side. Let's change positions. There we go. Wow. Take the seasick pills. You see we have the beam right up here. And this beam matches on to that beam over there, which is just fake. It's just paint color stripes on the wall on either side. But this lower area is very well hidden that way. And then if you step 1 or 2 more steps over this way, or actually that way, I'm sorry. Confusing even myself. It's not hard to do. We have that fake post idea here and here with just a color stripe in between. And over here we have the same, kind of going over the refrigerator area. While I'm back by the bar, let me point out a few things. The bar's a little bit unconventional, a little bit more contemporary. Over here you have cabinets that are 42-inch tall wall cabinets, actually, that have been mounted lower with a toe kick on them. And on this side, if you step just 2 steps over, you see we have a 15-inch by 15-inch bar sink over here with a area here, drawer, and underneath here is electronics. So we can operate a DVD player for that television over here and for this television over here. So we could play the same DVD on both, or we could play two different, we have two players of course, but to play one on each TV. Over here you can't see because it's dark, but we have about a 4-foot area of nothing but open space. Now what some people do is they want to put in tappers here. So they'll put a little refrigerator tapper underneath. But what a lot of people want to do, myself included, is I would put soda here, or beer, if you prefer, underneath here in 24 packs, because you're not going to put all these 24 packs stuffed into the refrigerator if you have enough of these, if you do a lot of partying. So over here is a refrigerator area. Take a couple of steps over. You'll see that we've made this indentation in the wall, which is sort of formed by what we've done with the countertops. You can put the refrigerator over here. What that does for you is it allows people to service the refrigerator because we've kept the bar open over here. You see how the countertop doesn't touch the wall, which it could, again, as a custom item, but we've left it short here by about 4 feet. So now if people are conversing in the middle or watching TV over here, you don't have to get in front of them. You can just walk through here and use the refrigerator from that area or from this area, or you can walk through right where the camera is right now. So that's how this is set up, and you get an idea of how this would look from back there. I'm going to go way to the other side of the room. You stay there, and by the theater area. And so you can get an idea of the size of the room. This is about 30 feet wide. The main body of the house is 31 feet, but we have thicknesses of walls involved and such. So it's about 30 feet of width here. And we're about 16 and a half, 17 feet this way to this way. So step on forward, come around, show you a couple of items that I didn't point out when we were in this area just a moment or two ago. This is a theater proscenium, sort of like the big frame around the theater. You could put a very large screen, projection screen here. And if you wanted to hide it so it pulled down for a certain occasion. You see over here, we have on the ceiling a outlet for the projector to be hung right here. We put some solid wood up there. So you can hang a projector up here, and that is also played over to the entertainment cabinet normally. I can't swear that that's what we've done on this house, but I believe that's what we've done on this house. So we have this large area that also has this beautiful backlighting by it. Now if you come a little closer, this is sort of what we've done upstairs too. You haven't seen the upstairs yet, but you get the idea here. We've hung track lights that you can't see, but it makes a great pop on this whole area. By using a dark color, like this dark wall color of, we call a cocoa brown, up against the theater area, it works real well for your visual. When you're looking at a theater screen, you generally want to put it on a dark wall, whether it's a small screen, large screen, what have you. One of the problems you're going to have with the projection TV is sunlight. And this is an exposed walkout basement on this house. Just so happened to be the lay of the land. You can't do that on every house. But here we have a deck that's been built over a potential future patio. The new owners on this, I think, are having us pour them a patio in spring. And this is going to give a tremendous amount of daylight into this room. So it's one of the things that was thought about when we first started designing the theater area. So this proscenium area that boxes in the theater screen prevents the light from shedding across that wall. So you're going to still be able to do a projection screen, even though you may have full sunlight. It'll be slightly diffused in many cases because of the woods and because of the overhang. But even if this was a full sunlight condition, you'd be able to still do a pretty good job watching that screen because we've tucked it into a shadow box area per se. As you come down the stairs, you can stay right there and just pivot. How about that? Just pivot from where you are, stay right where you're at. We have this little bit of a, I mentioned shadow box over there. This would be more of an art alcove. And we can see we've taken that thickness of those beams again, and we've incorporated them from that view, you can see it, into the bar, so that even though this is just a wall and a wall, we've incorporated that again as a theme into the room. And we've done that over here too. Something you can see is, here, now I'll come on over to the alcove a little bit more. Take a look at the angles we've used in here. Upstairs we use a lot of curves and things sometimes. Here we're using these very sharp corners. They're angled. They're called chamfer corner bead, chamfer. And if you look at how that looks, like it's sort of a sculpted stone look. So down here we've used a lot of chamfer. And this door here, we have 3 doors. This door here is closest to the stairs, and therefore it should be your storage area. You want to try to give yourself a good storage ability to the home. You want to try to be able to carry your boxes and odds and ends down and not have to walk all the way through the basement to get to your storage area. So putting the door close by is helpful. Let me see if I can turn on a light. Oh, we may have some burnt out ones. The basement's been divided into 3 areas. This is the storage area. Before we go in there, matter of fact, I might take it the other way around. This door here, we've created this hallway, is a future bathroom. This bathroom was not supposed to get drywall in it, but it did get the drywall in it. You can see the toilet over here, if you can see me at all. The toilet over here. For the future, we put the sink over here and a shower module over here. We have a little area built in. So this would be your bathroom area. Right off of this quasi hallway I was talking about, we have 1 more door. So there's 3 doors off of this 1 hallway. Storage, bathroom, and lastly, here you go. You stay over there. Let me walk all the way down to give you a sense of perspective on this. Really a very long, big area. That looks like a huge area over there. And we're talking about a 1,500, and this house has been bumped up a little bit, 1,570 square feet or so. And so you're looking at probably 30 feet of space there. And this would be a future bedroom. From that point of view, take a look at the ceiling. And you'll notice we don't have any protrusions. We've designed this quadrant of the basement to be what we call a weekend warrior project. We have everything figured out, so you don't have to try to box around anything. There's no beams, there's no plumbing, there's no heating vents, there's nothing hanging down in your way structurally. If you look over here, this is a main structure of the house. It's a beam line that runs down the middle of that 50 foot of run, or 52 feet of run. And there's a microlam beam here with some steel posts holding it up. Remember those 2 steel posts that are in the finished area. All you have to do is put a wall under here. You could build that wall either on this side of it, or you could build it right up to here. And you have a completed room. This is big enough for a pool table. It's big enough for an exercise room. It's big enough to be 2 bedrooms. So it has quite a bit of space here. And because the bathroom is right here, we could make a secondary door going into the bathroom if this wanted to be a real luxurious type suite. We have a set of windows over here. And because it's required by code, we have to put drywall over this wall to make sure that it's fire safe in an exposed wall. Walking through, if this were a wall, as I talked about hanging a wall here and finishing out that area, we've designed the home to try to put a complete finished rec room there, a complete other finished room here. Therefore, all of your storage and all of your mechanicals are in this 25% quadrant. So come on over here, take a look at what we put in this side. This side here, we don't care so much about the protrusions on the ceiling. So here we have heating vents hanging down, we have plumbing hanging down, we have beams, we have our electrical box over here, our big Cutler hammer circuit breaker box, plenty of space. Here's all of our cables for the house, for all the TVs and phones and things. And then we have our clean out for our sanitary here, our water coming in here with our water meter. You can see up here, one thing I do like to always brag on just a little bit is our quality of construction. Our floors are really, really the best type of floor that I think you're going to find. This is a Douglas fir 2x12 floor system instead of a conventional 2x10 pine or spruce. This is Douglas fir, much longer grained, much sturdier, going to be very solid underfoot. And we glue, screw, and nail down the floors. Not on every home, but in our series of Miracle and Up we do. And this, if I look behind this, this is a natural fiber insulation. If I pulled that out, you'd find we use a green treated skirt board going around the home. It's not required by code. We also use a green treated plate on top for moisture between the concrete and the wood, so you're not going to get dry rot. But the green treated going all the way around the house is a really good idea for down the road, lessening your dry rot of sills. So we do foam injection in areas, spray foam. We usually recommend doing it in the sills. This is one of our entry line homes, so we don't have it in here, but it is standard in some of our others. Water heater here. Furnace over here, 94%. We build our homes to Energy Star standards. We were the first builder in Wisconsin to build an EPA Energy Star rated home. And believe me, that was some 15 years ago. People walked in, they did not know what we meant when we said Energy Star rated homes. That's how long ago. First builder to be doing it. It's now become sort of standard in all of our homes. We do a loop here. This loop is built in. It's an option on some homes. On this home, we have it. This is for cutting this off and putting a water softener in. So if you wanted to put a water softener in, this house is all ready to go. You don't have to do much of anything other than buy the water softener and have the guy install it right there. So coming back around and through, this is the alcove you saw from the other side. Now I still hear voices upstairs. So what we're going to do, here, come on out of the dark here. Put these stools back. What we're going to do is go upstairs first. This is a ranch that has a unique idea to it. It's an optional finished attic. So we'll look at the main floor last. We'll go and look at the upstairs next, not to upset the folks who might be up there talking to the salesperson. So I'm going to do something we also don't do in guerrilla shooting very often. I'm going to turn off the camera in a moment as we walk up the stairs. So follow me and you'll see how we go here. We might not have to turn it off if we can make this work. So let's see if we can, all right? Follow me up. Around the corner and up the stairs. You stand back over in that direction if you would. Okay, we don't have to turn off the camera. How about that? This house, we're on the kids' bedrooms are on this side of the house, master bedroom on the opposite side of the house. Very standard in today's ranches called a split bedroom ranch. The bedrooms here are fairly modest in size. These are 11 by 11 and a half type bedrooms. And normally the door for this bedroom would be over here. Okay, what we've done is we pushed this bedroom forward by about 3 feet. And that allows us to wedge in the stairs over here. And that's the stairs that goes up to the optional finished attic. You wouldn't have to have it be a finished stairs. You could put a door right here and just have storage up there without even a finish. But let's come on up and take a look. Take it slow. We have here is a plant ledge. Again, just done for decorating type's sake. And we have a nice big window up here, so plenty of daylight. This is an overcast day, so you can kind of see the window very nicely. It's not going to blind out the camera. That's an advantage. Come on up here. I like this particular door. You can get a peek at this glass a little more. This is what we call rain glass. It has sort of a rib to it. And it gives you a ability that you don't really see through the glass. So it gives you privacy inside. But if you want to open it up, it gets out of the way as pocket doors conventionally do. But it lets the daylight from those windows shine through here. Because this house only has its windows on the upstairs attic on both sides of the gable. So we have the roof line going this way, and a window here, and a window here. Come on up. Come on all the way up, And as we do sometimes, we'll double back and look at what's over there. But stay right there. Let me just give you an idea of the distance. There we are. We're using a full 52 feet of running space here. Actually, with wall thicknesses closer to 51. But 51 feet of space by 14.5 feet wide. We're using a conventional 812 roof pitch, which is not an extraordinarily heavy roof pitch. Standard house comes with, I think, a 612. But by just going up to that 812, it's able to get this much space up here. Full ceiling headroom of 8 feet in the middle. We do have it coming down on the sides. And we're trying to create, since it only has windows on the two ends, we want to create the ability to make this into a guest bedroom if you want. But this could also be a pool table area. You could use this as a theater. You could use it as 2 bedrooms. You could use it as so much. Offices, whatever you can think of. Great spot for putting bedrooms for guests because they're completely off the other level and everybody enjoys that, the guests and the hosts alike. Here we have an alcove, which is kind of a pretty thing. It has some unique corner beading that we've done over here with our corners. We have about 9 different types of drywall corner in this house. Square over here. We use round in other areas. We've created an alcove over here for a potential dresser. Very conscious of furniture. I've been accused of designing my furniture layout first, then designing the house around it, and that's a lot of truth to that. So if I take a 2-foot depth piece of furniture here, a high boy, for example, I would still have 3 feet of strong space, about 37 inches to walk through here. What I've done in this area, if this was set up as a master bedroom suite or a guest suite, there's a dresser area. If you come in here, we have a great area here that is a get-ready area. For the morning, you would have over here a dresser, probably your 6-foot dresser, or you could put a TV over here. There's a great space here for a couch. You could put the TV here and put the couch on that wall if you preferred. But it's sort of an interesting area because there's so much space here. You can do a lot with it. You put a desk or 2 up here if you wish. But there's also 2 walk-in closets here. So if you're getting ready for the morning, here's one on this side. I won't be able to open this up all the way because there's a door preventer on this top. But you can peek in from there. And it's a decent-sized walk-in closet. About 6 by 6 on a triangle, so it doesn't waste a lot of space. There's the attic space. Remember, because this is a roof going like this and has a wall here and here, this is getting into the side attic over here. Over on the other side, there's a similar closet over here. So we have a his and hers closet. And about the same amount of space, maybe a couple inches more because we're not chunking out the bathroom. We did pass by a bathroom which we did not look at yet, and that's right where you walked out, where you came up the stairs. We'll do that on the way out. In this area, we've created this sort of a opening area here with just wide. If we're going to be, this is a sleeping area, come on in. If we're going to be sleeping in here, we could have put a set of French doors here, but technically then that divides us into 2 rooms, and then you're not supposed to be able to use that for sleeping. So if this was going to be a hotel suite sort of an idea, you might want to make, oh, my light isn't working because there's no light bulb in it down there. You might want to make a bedroom area out of the area where you saw the sofa. So this is a great sized room. And look at some of the detail in here. Of course, we have a ceiling fan, but that's not really a detail. That's more of a feature. Take a look over here. I'm going to spin you around. Go all the way in the other corner over there. We'll just take you in a couple, 3 different positions. We have the access to the attic on this side. Remember, the attic for the closets was over on that side. Another one of those alcoves here. We have built-up drywall. This drywall, maybe you can't see from where you're at, but you will in a moment. This works all the way around the room. It looks like a board has been put into the house, but this is all made out of just another layer of drywall. So if you look and follow this all the way around, you see up here, maybe you get a better idea here. See how this is about a 1/2 inch up. So this is a separate piece of 6-inch wide drywall, as is this. And if you really spin around and look at the wall right behind you, I'll put my hand there, you can see how that works. How nice that looks. It's a really nice detail. And if you look down in the other direction, You get the complete view of the room now, how we've surrounded the room and that little bit of an effect. It's just a nice little extra touch. Now if you see, we have a queen size bed in here and just a lot of room. Now if the lights were on in that area, this wall is positioned so that it would still create, the person sleeping would be in shadow. So if someone came up, was using this for dressing or watching TV or something, they would still be in shadow. So we put a TV receptacle up here off the floor. We do that in a lot of our bedrooms where we put them up off the floor so you don't have to chase a wire or a cord down to the floor. And you can then watch from bed on this side. As you come through, you'll also notice in a decorator's touch, what we've done up here is we've added a little bit of snap of orange to it, a little bit of burnt orange. The standard room color the house comes when we build these is generally an off-white or a bone color, which is what's on the ceiling and on these walls. But then we've added a little snap of color, neutral color here, which is Sherwin-Williams paint Grand Sand tan color. And if you come on through, you'll also notice, if you haven't already, that in the basement we used a dark wood. We used a midnight or a Kona color dark wood. Up here we're using white. We use white in a lot of the bedrooms. It creates sort of a seaside effect, or sort of a nice tranquil, peaceful feeling. So let's go look at that bathroom I told you about over here. You get another view of how this whole room looks if you just want to take it from this side, and we'll walk closely over to this side. Over here, we put a single chair here. We could have put the dresser over there. We could put another chair there. It's just a nice difference idea up here of what you could do. We just had someone we built one of these homes for, some very nice folks out in Jackson, and we made this closet. We didn't have it as a closet. They were going to use this as a toy room up here for kids playing. So they'd be able to sleep over in that area and have this be a play area. And they just made a big opening here. So this whole big closet, as it were, was not here. This was an arched opening to a kitchenette. There was just a microwave and a sink and a refrigerator and I think a pizza oven or something up here. And it was just an area so they could be gathering and having some snacks. Come on through. By the way, I talked about the different kinds of corners we have. This is called a mini round, or a 1/2 inch radius. A lot of builders use round corners, but they're usually 3/4 inch radius. This is 1/2 inch radius. I think it looks a little classier than the heavy big ones. But here's a full 1.5 inch radius. If you talk about big ones, this is that. This is 1.5 inch radius. I mentioned we have quite a few corner accessories and drywall accessories in the home, with the chamfers that we used in the basement, and the small rounds, the squares, the different. This is a eased round here, so instead of being a square, this is a wear corner, so we're using a little bit of an eased round here. Take a look at the bathroom. Again, that snap of color. If we're using a heavy color, like a burnt orange or a blue or green, whatever, sometimes we just put it on a wall or two just to give it a snap of color, because you might get tired of the color. It might be out of vogue and you didn't want to change it. So rather than paint the whole house with that color, we just kind of do it a little bit here and there, and overpowering colors are less overpowering that way. We have a rain shower head here. This rain shower head is I think a very nice feature. We're using I won't turn it on, I've got my coat on. Anyway, accidents do happen, but not today. Here we have the shower head coming off, and it creates a rain effect coming down. 5-foot shower stall, very conventional type shower stall there. We have the 2 sinks over here. A very conventional Tricove laminate top, or Formica type product. And even though we're using the white wood I mentioned on things like the doors and the base molds, if you use white wood where you have hard floors, like this vinyl we have up here, and you want to then mop the floor, it gets kind of dirty against your white woodwork. So by putting in a wood cabinet that's a darker color, we're able to take that wood color and match it onto our moldings on the floor, our shoe moldings, or our quarter rounds, as some people call them. And that tends to keep your baseboards, your white baseboards, looking a little cleaner. Around the corner here, if you stand in that corner, you'll see that we have a linen cabinet, upper and lower, toilet over here. Unusual thing about this linen cabinet, let me show you something. This door opens up 90 degrees is what you want your doors to open to at least. So this opens up 90 degrees. It doesn't quite touch the cabinet. This cabinet is pushed into the wall, just like a medicine cabinet would be. We've actually cut the wall open. We've created an alcove in it. So this pushes another 3.5 inches into the wall, taking up less space in the room itself. And it really helps because if that was sticking out another 3.5 inches, we'd probably only get the door open about that far. So it gives you a little bit more room in the room itself. Just a little detail that even the people who buy the house may never notice it, but it's something that we know is a good thing. So come on through. Well, let's head downstairs onto the main level. And you've already seen a finished basement. You've already seen a finished attic. If we didn't have the finished attic, we'd be able to do some things downstairs that we can't do in this house. But see what you think of it when you see that. Let's head on down. All right. Daylight is leaving us. We don't have any lights in our kids' bedrooms, so let's look at those first. About 11 by 11.5 is the size of this bedroom. And we do have something interesting over here. Here we are. Take a peek. I think our salesperson brought his computer with him. He's hiding it under there. But you see that we have a little hiding area. This is a stairs area. The stairs we just went up. This would not normally be here if this was not for that extra stairs area. I hate to waste the stairs area. Now, if this was going to be an adult room, you might just put some small doors on here and make that for storage. But if this is going to be a kid's bedroom, which it is in a lot of cases, or if you have a grandkids that want to come over and play, they love this area because we sized it for a size of a twin mattress, so you can put the twin mattress in just with a bed skirt over it, bed fitted sheet over it, and put a bunch of pillows under there. The kids will be in there all day long. We have the TV area here. We've got a double closet here, and it's just a very conventional room in many other ways. We've created that up off the floor. The windows on the side of the house, like you see over here, this is actually the side. You're now where the front of the house is. These are generally optional in this house. You notice where a lot of windows today, they're doing the pane on top, which is gridded, but the one on the bottom without the grids in them, sort of a contemporary throwback, because if you look at very old homes, they would do that as well back in the 50s. So come on over here. Only then they did it because they first started inventing large panes of glass, but they were very expensive. The small panes that were 9 inches by 16 or 13 inches were much less money. So they do it on the top pane and they wouldn't do it on the bottom one. So come on in. A little bit more sunlight in here as the sun's setting in that direction, I guess. So pretty much a repeat of the other room. I would point out we have our closet over here, which since it's being set up for someone, the graining on this was not as good of graining as the client would have liked. It didn't look like they went together quite, so we got a different door that they liked. So we're going to put this door on here before they move in this next week. So we've already taken the old one off, but we haven't put the new ones back on yet. So a closet over here. This is the darker wood. We call it clove color. And so one thing that's kind of interesting, I didn't show you yet on this home, different contemporary sort of a look at what we're doing on our windowsills. You see, we've taken our drywall and we've used the chamfer bead here, and then we've cut our wood on approximately the same angle so that it has that nice visual cleanliness to it, that it all kind of goes in this nice angle going down instead of the big old dog ears coming around, sort of the old-fashioned look, which we also do, but this is just more of a contemporary look. Using the squares here and the chamfer here, our drywallers just love us. And here we have the chamfer on the top again and the squares on the side. A lot of different ways we can do the windows, but that's one of them. On the way out, take a peek at this cutout wall. We've kind of clipped off the corner for ease of getting through. This is just a nice little feature. It opens up the room, makes a smaller room feel a little bigger. Come on over here. Here's something in the bathroom, the kids' bathroom. It's a little unusual. Now I'm about 6'2", eyes are blue, and this is shower area, rain shower head again. And this angle here is the stairs going up over there. If this was built as a conventional ranch, this would not be here. Now people ask, well, what do you do here? How do you put a shower curtain, a window? You do is you have to do a customized, you can do it a couple of different ways, but the best way to do it is to do a customized shower door. You make one pane of glass, it's custom fit and designed to here, and then your opening is essentially right here as a accordion opening. And that works out pretty nice. There is a way to do a custom tailored curtain, but the glass is a little nicer. Over here, we have a carved stone sink. A little bit of a raised faucet. Carved stone sink is very, very nice. Not a cheap item at all, but it's very nice. And some people miss the fact that we don't have a toilet in here, but after closer examination, they'll see that we do have a toilet in here. It's right around the corner here. Oh, get out of your way. And it's right on this side. We have the towel bar over it here, and you can see here we've used the dark wood throughout because we're in the medium dark wood level of the house, which is right ahead. Follow me. As we're heading into the house, this is our media area. DVD player goes in there. You can put something nice here. We have an outlet here. You could put a lamp or a backlight in here. Kind of a nice idea. You can see we're using the chamfer bead here again, the chamfered corners, the angled corners. And here we've used the square to kind of cut this out, chamfer again here. So we're not just making life easy for anyone when it comes to drywallers, where we say just use one bead throughout the whole house. We do that, but not real often. If you take a look at the ceiling here, you're in the great room now. And this is sort of the heart of the house. And the heart of the house has some pretty cool things going on. It's a great room that has a room above you, so the finished attic. Get the mouth going here, right? The finished attic means that you can't have the high ceilings in here. But a conventional 8-foot ceiling dropping down a 6-inch beam really looks nice. This is all made out of drywall again. This is a strip of drywall. And if you notice closely, I don't know if you can see it that close, but we've done a little bit of a textured finish here, and this is smooth. The smooth finish appears as though, and this is a small round, this is a chamfer. This gives you the idea that this is made out of wood or very expensive millwork because we've used a semi-gloss paint on here, and we've only used a eggshell finish here. It really makes that stand out nice. So if you follow this, you'll see that the beams are dividing this into different areas. We have 4 different areas, quadrant off by 4 different beam areas. And this area here is sort of the reception area or the game table area. This area here is the kitchen behind me, and then you have the great room seating area, and then lastly the dining area over here. So you have quite a few 4 different areas, and you have that kind of suggested by the ceiling. So as we're going from the ceiling, let's also go to the floor. We'll go from up to down. This is a laminate flooring, but it's a little bit nicer laminate than maybe some people have seen. It has an erratic finish to it, which means it looks like a little bit of a chiseled wood, and it has a slight bevel edge to it, so you can really see the 5.5-inch wide planks very nicely here. This would be good for dogs, better than a hardwood per se. We do offer anything, hardwood, 3/4-inch hardwood, ceramic tile, concrete floors, just about anything you can imagine. But this is a medium price type home, so we're trying to keep that in mind when we're picking our materials. You look at the great room itself, and start off in here. We have a 2-couch, could be a love seat there, but it'd be a little tight. 2 couches and a chair with ottoman here. This furniture is all from Steinhafels Furniture. We have a promotion going with them now where Steinhafels does pretty much all the furnishings you're seeing, from that lamp to the pillows to these lamps to the side tables. Master bedroom with the mattress box spring by, I think it's Sealy. Don't hold me to that, but I think it's Sealy. Dinette, the stools, the little hutch over here, the lights that are in the master bedroom, the dressers, everything, all that for $2,995 when you buy a home. So that's a pretty wonderful special. I think it's about a retail of 10 grand, but you know how prices change and discounts and whatnot. And if you want to buy anything else other than this furniture, you can mix and match. So take off my salesman cap and put back on my tour guide hat. So what we have here is a direct vent fireplace. it can be used to heat the house if you were having issues with electric being knocked out because of a storm or something. This has a blower on it, but you would not need the blower to effectively let it heat the house. It runs on natural gas to the house, and it costs about 15 cents an hour to run it. So we have had people over the years that have literally turned off their furnaces and have used this to heat the house because it's, in some cases, cheaper with the tightness and the insulation factors we use in the home. Our MyPad series of homes, actually, this is all you heat the house with. You can actually buy for about $200 or give or take our thermostat for the wall. And that thermostat, that fire will come on and go off. My mom has a house up in Door County. That's the only thing it's heated with is a fireplace exactly like that. And she has a fairly long ranch, and fireplace is way on the other side of the house. Still works nice. What you see here is the fireplace is showing you a little bit of a lighting effect showing behind it. This lighting effect is what I affectionately call drywall curtains. It's something we made up. I've never seen it in another house, but it looks really great when the lights are a little bit lower as it is now. We don't have a nice heavy sun outside. So you can see how we've got this little frame of light here and here. Stay right where you're at. Or maybe you can move over a little bit to that side. You can see how we have the dinette area framed in this as well, the dining area, framed in the light as well. Now, if you walk that way, and we'll let you walk a little closer and see what we have here. When we did this on a TV shot, I lifted this up and I hooked it to the ceiling so you can get a better view. Come on in and take a look. Here, step on in and take a look behind of what I'm doing behind me here. You put this back down again. You can see how we have track lights here and here and here. Now you don't see those very often unless you're really tight to the back wall, but the track lights are adding the ambiance. Takes up no extra space in the home, really. This is a bump out. We've created an extra foot bump out here to make this happen and to make this a little roomier in here. This is about 13 and a half, 14 feet long in this area. So it'll handle a 6 to 8 seat. This is without the leaf. There's another leaf that can go in, and you've got quite a good sized dining area. If you step over in that direction, you'll see that this side has a hutch area to it. Here you go, that flower's in the way, florals are in the way. But this is a good, generous 6 foot plus area. This is only a 5 foot plus type hutch. And a tin embossed from Pier 1 up here. And this could take, of course, the hutch up on top. But you can see how we've treated our beams going through here. It's kind of a nice effect. Let's go over to the kitchen. Over to the kitchen. This is normally seated with 5 seats. We only have 4 in here now. But the 5 is a nice idea. It was sized for 5. This is the control center of the kitchen, I say. It's where the kitchen sink is. You'd probably put all of your dishes out here for serving if you're having a party. And from here, I can see, as the cook, let me trade places with you. Come on around one way or the other, whichever way is easier for you. And stand where I was standing. Excuse me. Get a little bit of a lunch coming up the throat. Right there. Got it. All right. So we've got the control center of the house. Step a couple of steps forward. You'll see that you've got the view from the dinette over here, the view from the great room over here. You can see the TV nicely over here, the fireplace over here, and you can see everybody in the entire room. So it is sort of the heart of the house. Over here, this is, you don't have to come too close, but this is a 55-inch TV. This will fit up to about a 70. We've created a couple of drywall layers here to really kind of give it a little bit of an inset area. And if you're pivot around this way, let me show you the kitchen. Rest of the kitchen, some drawers over here, cabinets. Over here we have a double recycler. So you have the waste baskets. Normally that's an option, by the way, but as a disclaimer for this house, things I'm showing you are not necessarily standard. I mentioned earlier we're a custom builder. You do have to confer with your salesperson to see what does come or doesn't come with it. One day things may change from the next day. This video may be online for quite a while, so please check with your salesperson. Cookie tray dividers over here. Good spot for spices over here, or a bottle of water. This is a stove area, microwave with a range hood underneath it. Press a button, it pulls it up. And even though you can't see it, this is vented outside. The venting, the sheet metal is in the wall, and this is cut in and it goes out. You can buy these that just recirculate into the house through a carbon filter, but we don't prefer that. We prefer, sometimes you have to resort to that in a basement for an after building or something on it. This is something I really like a lot. A refrigerator area. You can buy a counter depth refrigerator. The problem with counter depth refrigerators are they only have counter depth interiors to them, so they don't have a lot of space in them. This one goes all the way back an additional 6-8 inches beyond here, and we've also built our cabinet here so that, unlike most refrigerators, you're able to reach it. If our refrigerator front is right here, full-size depth refrigerator goes in this, flushes out to the front because we've created the alcove, and we brought the cabinet to the front of the refrigerator. So you're not going to have to reach over it to get to it. On this side here, I aimed all the lights over here. So this is not as bright as it was. They're a little hot, otherwise I'd aim them back here. Nice thing about track lights, you can put your point of light where you wish it to be. So here you have a big drawer and a cabinet below. And one of my favorite things, and I'm sure yours too, in the kitchen is a pantry. So here we have a nice medium-sized type pantry. We're using the wire shelves. Normally we have a lot of white wire shelves, but here we're using the pewter colored wire shelves, or the silver color, and pretty generous amount of space in the pantry. Very convenient to this side. Now, I was mentioning before the table, and I kind of glossed over that we have a table here and a table there. Let me explain this. Now, a lot of times people don't have more than one table in the great room, especially in a smaller home. Remember, this is 1,500 and some change on square footage when we start out. But if you're dining with a party, or even if you're dining just with a husband and wife, a lot of times the husband or the wife takes one of the tables and uses it as the hobby table, or the kids are doing their homework there, and they have to clean that off in order to use the eating table. So you have an eating table. If you're having a big party, you can now set this up. This is normally set with 4 chairs, but you can set this up as a great area for the kids to play games or to eat at while the adults are on this side over here. And it's sort of like a restaurant because you have the seating in the middle. If you counted seats in this room, you'd count 4 here, you'd count 6 to 8 over there, and you'd count another 5 here. You can seat almost 20 people in this room. Take a look at the little detail we have for you over here, and then we will end in a moment with a tour of the master bedroom. A lot of times we do the spindles. It's kind of a nice look, but this is a new type of a look. We're using a very large drywall corner here, 1.5 inches with a square and a square, small here. This is inset panels, gives a nice rich look, a very different look. And this is all made out of drywall buildups, again with the smooth, the texture, the semi-gloss, and the matte finish. And if you look over here, there's another interesting feature. This is an obscured glass window, and the reason it's there is that it brings natural daylight in from this window, which is kind of next to it, kind of covered with a porch, but you wouldn't believe how much natural daylight still filters in through this window into this room over here, which is the laundry room. So that's where we're going to be heading last, is to that laundry room. It's getting dark out now, so we'll see how much light transfers to there. Let me walk by you here, excuse me. All right, master bedroom can be entered from a couple of different areas. But let me show you over here the master bedroom entering from off of the dinette area. Okay, here we have about 11 and a half by 16 feet. But take a look at what we've done to this master. We've done some really, really nice work in here. We've gone back to the white finish. So here we have this white, kind of a seaside tranquil finish to it. And look at what we've done here. We've done sconces on the wall on each side of the bed. The heavy amount of detail work, inset panels, just like you saw outside, but this is done with the chamfered angle panels corners. Up here we have, this is not a wood molding. This is a drywall molding again. This is a drywall accessory. This is hollow, you can kind of hear that. And this is drywall layering, another piece of drywall up here. So you can see there's been quite a bit of that detail when you look around the room and see what we've done with our drywall layering panels. The panels going in here. Notice how we have to always try to match our fixtures, whether they're electricals, look over here a moment, being up a little higher so that we can do this high panel down here, or whether they are the heat vents. You can see how we've really taken all that into consideration. The ceilings are gorgeous because they have that same paneled effect on them. Sort of a 6-inch stripe going through, matching onto the wall over here. You can just see how that runs into the bathroom. Now, the bathroom over here is what we affectionately call or a resort bathroom, which is sort of an open concept bathroom to some extent, to the sink area anyway. So follow me into this direction. And I'll show you what we have. This area here, our sink area. Waterfall, if you like a video game here, you hot water, cold water, high, medium, off. There you go, vessel sinks. We're open underneath here, so this allows you the space to put some things like a hamper, for example, or a waste paper basket. Over here we have what I call a towel curio. Towel curios are kind of nice. They're not taking all the way up to the ceiling, although we offer that too. But this gives you a nice spot to set something here and still have a lot of towel storage here. The bank of drawers in between. All this sawdust is here because we just put in the handles. So every one of these seems to have a sawdust in it. You can see how we did our transition here from tile floor, and this is tile, to the carpet here. So it kind of makes a transition. We could put a door here easy enough. We also have a window over here. This window brings in a lot of daylight. That obscured glass window I showed you a moment ago that leads into the laundry area from the foyer area, we could do obscured glass just on a bottom panel if you were concerned about privacy. But when these trees are filled with leaves, there's not much concern about privacy generally in this house, so we didn't choose to go that way. This door over here leads into the master bathroom. And I'll let you follow me in here. The master bathroom, again, has the rain shower head. It has a conventional shower stall, but unlike the one that you saw upstairs, this one has these molded in tile lines. And that, again, is an option, but it is a nice look. Sometimes what we do, it's much easier to clean this than it is to clean tile with grout. We'll put tile all the way around it and on the ceiling around, but still use this. And some other times we just use tile on the whole thing and whatever you want. Over here is a unique feature. Unique feature and neat feature combined there makes unique feature. Anyway, we have some magazine holders over here. When we do this, we use a small round on top for your knuckles. We use square on the sides, square on the bottom. Pound a couple of boards across the front, finish those up nice. And there you have it, magazine holders. Elongated toilet and comfort height. I'm sorry, lost the word there. And little bit of a drop on the ceiling here. This is different. See how we did just this little bit of a half-inch drop here, just an extra piece of drywall, just to kind of set this off with another piece of detail work. So let's walk back around the other way. Excuse me. Follow me. This is an item we call a doorless closet. It'll be the end of the tour. We'll go from the doorless closet, take a look at the laundry area and the garage, and that'll be it. We'll take a couple of peeks at the outside of the house if there's still enough daylight left. But this is doorless, so step over here so you can see how this plays, how it looks if you were walking in the room. Okay, so you walk in the room, you have a privacy wall here. Now if this was a door, you'd be using up this space. So it doesn't really give you any more or any less space. You'd be swinging in. If you were swinging out, you'd be using up furniture space or walking space you'd have to be in. So it doesn't take any extra space to do the doorless idea. It's a nice convenience because just like in a bathroom of a movie theater, you don't use the doors. Same idea here. You have all this hanging going all the way to there and come on through. If we were going to do this a little bit fancier, we could do double hanging here. We could go all the way across. But here's a little surprise now. If you ever think about how you live in a house, husband and wives or kids, they're always carrying the laundry through the house to the laundry room. So this gives you an opportunity to go right into the laundry room from the master closet. So this is an extra access door, and it really makes life simple. You don't have to carry your socks around or your underwear. You can just bring them right in through here. So here we have a spot for the washer and dryer, a folding table here, and that window I was talking about before that had obscured glass in it. I'm going to close this door. We're going to give it a little test because I said it gives some light. There you go. Of course, we have an electric light on in the foyer, I'll be honest with you there, but it brings in some nice light in here, even with the lights completely off. There, I'm turning them off in the closet that you're standing in right now. So anyway, enough of that effect. Here, we'll turn on the lights. There's space over here for a little counter. There's space over here for some hanging if you wanted to go that route. And this door will open up all the way this way. And this is not the final doorknob. We're changing out the locks and keys to that for the new owner. Take a look at the area over here. This is the back side of the window that had the TV. Okay, so there's how it's set up. Just has a 2x4 across the back. We just take off a couple of screws down there, a couple on the top. Falls in, we take that out, and away we go. This is a 2-car garage plus 5 feet, and this is an 8-foot high garage door instead of, you can stay there, instead of a conventional height 7 foot, which is about here. We have the windows across the top, and the garage would not normally be this wide. That extra little piece you see added over here makes it just that much wider, so you could put some extra storage items here, such as motorcycles, bikes, maybe a small boat or something on that nature. So that's it, 21 feet, 22 feet deep, very conventional in any other way. Let me step in out of the cold and get the reverse angle on that whole thing. There you go. Never hurts to get a little bit of a reverse angle. Excuse me. And there we are, folks. Now, while I talk, why don't you go out and take a look at the outside of the house? What you're looking at right now is the right side of the house. Well, it's getting a little dark up, but I think you can still see that. Look at what we've done to some of that architectural detailing up in that peak area, the top of the roof, we call it the top of the gable. Take a look at what we've done up there. We haven't just let the side of the house go. It's truly a 4-sided architecture. Now take a look at the back of the house. And there you see the suspended deck. A little snowy out here. And you can see how you have the stairs going down, and we built this right into the woods. And lastly, take a look at the last side of the house, right there. There you are. And again, with the architectural detailing up in the peaks. So, and here we are back to me. I'm Tom Hignite. This has been one more session of our guerrilla shooting. This has been the RT2300, which is a round number for ranch 2-story, 2,300 square feet. We'll see you next time.